Another episode, Modified Rides Podcast. Today I have someone that used to kind of work beside some in the freelance world. Some of you guys, OG guys, definitely know who he is. Josh Fleetwood. What's up, man?
I'll just hang out. I'm going to talk to you this evening, man. I know we've been trying to make this work, but looks like we got a little bit of time to do it. So.
I don't think most people call you by Josh. Most people, you're just Fleetwood at this point, ain't you?
Yeah, for the most part. My buddies kind of give me a hard time. They like when I start acting old or ready to go to bed, they call me Josh. But when I'm still good, they call me Fleetwood, I guess.
So we was talking a little bit before we got on. You live in the Tulsa area, correct?
Yes, sir. Just live a little south of there.
Have you lived there your whole life?
No, I moved back here in 2012. Work kind of brung me up here, and I was kind of ready to move out of Sallisaw, Oklahoma. That's where I was. I ain't gonna say I was born there, but it's where I was raised. Lived there 33 years and kind of I need to do something different. So I moved out. I had a job opportunity to move up here and I took it and I've enjoyed it ever since.
Nice. I'm trying to think because there were some of the shows I'd run into you. I guess that you were pretty far from home then, wasn't you?
Kind of. I mean, like we ran into Fort Smith, Arkansas was the first time we ran each other at Slamley Reunion.
Yeah,
and
that's
right.
That's
kind of close by where I used to live when I lived in Sallisaw. So that was kind of where you would go on the weekends or nights if you wanted to go to the movies, go eat. That's where you went. I mean, the town like I worked in and lived in was Sallisaw, but I lived just outside of Sallisaw. I mean, to give you an idea how small a community it was, I graduated with 22 kids. That was my graduation.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you weren't homeschooled?
No, I wasn't homeschooled. No. I mean, we had an 8-man football team. Like I said, 22 kids was at the time, like our freshman class had like 33, I think. And that was the biggest freshman class in school history at that time.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
I
small.
didn't know they had schools that small.
Yeah, dude. Like a lot of people don't believe that that small school even exists, let alone that I came out of a school that small.
I bet that cut down on the dating pool back in high school.
One reason I moved out of Sallisaw.
So you've been, involved off and on throughout your life with the automotive world. How did you get started into custom vehicles?
Man, I just always had a thing for automobiles. When I turned like 13 or 14, like I guess I expected mom and dad to buy me a vehicle like everybody else in my class was getting done. And dad told me it wasn't going to happen. If I wanted something, I had to work and get it. And he kind of helped me get set up. He sold farm machinery and the guys in the shop didn't want to put together the new stuff. So guess what I got to do on the weekends? And that's how I made my first, I bought my first $1,200 truck when I was like 15 years old. And that's, putting together farm machinery is what paid for it. So I still got that truck set at mom and dad's actually.
What was your first truck?
1980 Ford F100. So like the old 80s, the F100s were the step sides and the F150s were the regular beds. So I had an F100.
Okay. Gotcha. Did I guess you tinker on that any or just drive it?
Oh, I just drove it. We did some stuff to it to make it look nice. I had to put a stereo system in it. In the 90s, you had to have a stereo system. So I had that in it. Me and my granddad, mom and dad, we needed a new wood bed floor in it. So we did all that. But yeah, I kind of drove it and hung on to it. Like I said, it's still sitting at mom and dad's. I have plans for it, but the saying goes, all it takes is money.
Yeah. And that's the stuff that's hard to come by. You can find the vehicles, just kind of hard to come by the money.
Yes. I mean, I've got my 80 model Ford sitting at mom and dad's. I got a 49 F1 sitting at mom and dad's. And I picked up a 62 unibody this year that's still set. I had left over at mom and dad's. So like, that's kind of stuff on the chopping block or the planning, stage, I guess you could say, but who knows when that'll ever happen.
Well, what do you have now that's custom vehicle?
So
take it to show.
I've got a 64 F100 that I kept track of it. It used to be my uncle's. So it used to be his father-in-law's before that. I remember like 10, 12, 13, 14 years old, like he drove it almost like every day. And then like he let it go. He sold it to a guy named Gary Chapman. He ended up working for the same company I did. So I kind of got to keep up with it. He went to the local shows there around Fort Smith, Arkansas. And I always kept up with it. And I always used to give him a hard time. Like, hey, that used to be my uncle's truck. He said, I know. It's like, man, if something ever goes on, like I want first shot at it. And he'd done a lot to it. I mean, he had it painted. He had a Mustang 2 under it, some things like that. Made it more drivable kind of at the time. But then he got cancer and passed away. And about 3 weeks after the funeral, his wife called and said, hey, I was told I was supposed to sell this thing to you. So me and Dad, cool. Yeah, it's super cool, man. Like she wanted to go to somebody that was going to take care of it. And Gary loved going to shows, and she still kind of keeps up with me on Facebook. She is super ecstatic that I still take it to shows and everything. So I picked it up in 2019. It was pretty much a done truck, but like it just needed some updating. Got it up to the house, had some few issues with it, but we ended up it got new fuel injection on it. We put a Phytech on it. It's got a 4R70 in it now. Disc brakes, power steering. The paint job on it is, for being a 24, 25-year-old paint job, is about as best as you can find for that age on it, I think. He really took care of it. And it's probably got about 30 coats of wax on it now after I got my hands on it.
People still use wax?
Yeah, I'm gonna probably have it stripped down and probably ceramic coat it this winter, probably. So this
I don't, as a detailer, I don't even own wax.
Yeah, man, I use a lot of Wizards products.
Yeah.
I use their nano wax, and nothing sticks to it. I've never seen a wax that like holds up like it does. But
Nice.
they got some new ceramic stuff out, so I'm probably going to try this winter on it. But like, had Jason at Bill Accessories Direct, I'll get it right, cut me a set of wheels for it. It's kind of like we got it lowered a little bit more. Just kind of getting it where I wanted to take it to shows. I kind of call it my old man truck, because that style of truck is kind of like what I grew up around seeing. Oh, Jimmy Cox, Dusty Cox, they built all these super sweet rides on Budnicks and stuff. And like, I just wanted a lower truck on billets, man. And that's what I ended up getting. So, but it's been fun. And I've got a 86 Mazda B2000. David Prather actually built it, and he put it up for sale almost a year ago. So I got that too. It's a body dropped 86 Mazda custom frame truck. Got Jason making some wheels for it too. Got a few things we're going to wrap up on it this winter, hopefully. I kind of want to have it ready for Starbirds up here in February, so we'll kind of see what goes on with it. So
I didn't realize he was still doing a lot of the bad stuff.
Oh yeah, he is, man. He don't really advertise it. Like, if you kind of want a set and he has the time, he'll make you some stuff. He's cutting a few steering wheels again, custom parts here and there. He don't really dive off into it, but he still does things.
My first cover shoot had a set of I don't remember what they were. They were the ones that had like the blue spokes in between the spokes that like everybody was running back in early 2000s.
Yeah, he had quite a few. He had quite a few models that came out, different series that they're kind of still around too from some other brands. So
yeah. So me and you kind of linked up because of the freelance world. You shot for a while for some of the magazines, correct?
Yeah, I was trying to think of how many years ago, man. Like, I start looking back at some of the dates, and I just shake my head that it's been that long ago. And I think it was about 04, 05 that I started doing some stuff. I had a buddy named Brent.
Long after me.
Yeah, it was about, I don't know, like that whole freelance world kind of blew up at the time, I guess, with technology and be able to mail in CDs and stuff. Like, I think more people got involved in it. But I had a buddy.
And you didn't have to use film on everything. Like, it finally converted to where these magazines would take digital and just made it easier.
Oh yeah, they could probably get a magazine done 10 times quicker than they could, just using film and everything.
Now, these young kids don't understand the concept of after you shoot, then you have to dump it on a computer and then burn it on a CD and then print your contact sheets and put it in a manila envelope and send it off and hope it makes it to them. Now, everybody just uploads stuff.
Yeah, or they're texting it to them right then and there, So, yeah, it's totally.
Who did you get involved with first freelancing?
So I had a buddy named Brent Long that was doing it for street trucks, and I've always taken pictures. I've always been around photography, doing things, and like, he saw some of the pictures I was taking. He said, "You need to start sending this stuff in." And I just started dropping stuff in the mail. And I remember we was sitting at Slamboree, like I said, 04-ish, I guess. And somebody brung around Mini Trucking Magazine, and there was a show that they used to have in Lawton, Oklahoma, that was in there that I'd shot and written an article and everything for. And the guy putting on the show, that put on that show anyway, had come up to me, he's like, "Hey, you didn't tell me you was doing any of this. Like, this is the first time like my show's ever made it in a magazine." Like, he was grateful for it. And like, after that, this kind of when everything just started kind of falling in place. I never really, like, I don't know, I ain't gonna say I travel far, but me and traveling, it's like, if I can be there in 8 hours, I'll drive it. It don't bother me any. But like, I don't know, just kind of helped. I don't know. Felt I kept everybody up to date on the scene around, like, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri, the whole, I don't know if you call that Midwest or not, but whatever part of the world you want to call that.
Who was you dealing with when you first started shooting for Mini Trucking? Who
Mike Alexander was the editor then.
I lose track between, because I started dealing with Lance and then Mike, and like bounced through everybody, so I couldn't remember who was there that year.
Yep.
So I guess you probably ran into Grant Cox quite a bit.
Yes.
He's semi close to you.
Yeah. No. About the time that I kind of quit doing it, he got more into it. So I guess it kind of worked out that way. It was good, but me and him's good buddies. I hear from him almost every day on things, just random stuff.
Same thing. He'll send me some, videos or whatever, something like, we chat pretty regular as well. So
Yeah, no, he's a good dude. He's got him another truck going. Jason made the wheels for his truck too. So
Yeah, that is right. I remember seeing that now.
yeah. So
Yeah, because about the time his tech articles get done in CK, mine will start. So it's kind of like about the time his is finished, mine starts. So
get
I've
you.
been shooting on mine with the Blazer for the install stuff, but I kind of can't complete in the articles until the vehicle's complete.
Yeah.
Getting close to that point, but
Oh, are they ever
Uh,
finished?
well, this one I think I'm run out of stuff to do to it because we decided just to do it all in 5 months and say the hell with it. So. Who all did you shoot for? Just mini trucking?
No, mini trucking. I had stuff running sport truck, classic truck. I'm trying to remember what else. Oh, I had some stuff running truck chins over in Japan. That
Yeah,
was like a random thing that I didn't know was going on. Like some of the other guys had sent some of the stuff over there, and they ran it over there. So,
that's cool. Like I got one of the features. I've actually one of the ones on one of my trucks. Can't read anything on it, but it's cool that it's
I always assumed that was my name in Japanese, so I don't know.
mine might actually say my name. I don't. Might be the only English word in there.
Yeah, but that was pretty. Like I said, country boy from nowhere in Oklahoma having something published in Japan. Like I don't know, it's cool.
Now, how did you get into start doing pictures? Because you said you kind of stumbled into the magazine aspect. So how'd you get into doing pictures?
Man, I always had a thing for photography. I guess I don't know, man. Like my dream job when I was like 13 years old or whatever was working for Sports Illustrated, like shooting major sporting events or something. So like
I
that
thought you
kind
said just a
of
swimsuit edition.
yeah, that's what I was shooting for. Really, never happened. So
that uh, so you didn't really do it all that long though, did you?
no, I got to trying to think about it. Not even 10 years, maybe 6 or 7 years. And just like I said, I
But
kind of
you've never stepped away from the show scene though. You just quit carrying a camera.
yeah. I got my phone all the time. I mean, if you keep up with me on Facebook or anything, I kind of post show coverage in the comments and stuff whenever I'm going to something or doing something. So.
Yeah.
But no, man, I kind of like an old man in me, I guess. I've kind of gotten to where I enjoy sitting in my lawn chair underneath the tent, taking a nap, maybe hanging out, just looking at cars and stuff, talking to all my buddies and homies that I hang out with. So that was one thing that I never really got to hang out with everybody at the show when we were covering shows and doing things. Now, I mean, afterwards at the nightlife and stuff, got to hang out with everybody. Always had a good time doing that. But that is one thing like I kind of started missing, just getting to sit around and just kind of hang out. And that is one reason like I kind of got away from doing all of it. Now I get to just sit down and watch everybody else.
Well, it's like when everybody go to dinner. Well, that's when I've got 4 or 5 features lined up to shoot. So it's like you get done, you go, "Hey, where you at?" "Oh, we're already back at the hotel. We already ate." And it's like, "All right, cool. I guess I'll run through a drive-through somewhere." I was working while y'all were playing. So
yep, exactly. And I'd always make somebody bring me something to eat.
now, you still go to shows on a pretty regular basis. I always see your stuff, on Facebook and everything. I guess you and your dad go to a bunch of them.
He goes to some of them with me. I've taken him to a few, but like I don't know. There's living around Tulsa and all the little towns that makes up the metro. Man, like you could almost hit a show up every weekend if it ain't raining or if it ain't 122 degrees outside. There's always like the gap. Like this year, we didn't get to hardly go to anything in the spring and the summer because of all the rain we got in the spring, and then summer was just like I said. It's in Oklahoma, like heat index can really hit like 122, and it's like you don't want to be out in it. Period.
No, that's not. That's a little worse than what we have here. But the bad part is I've spent 3 months so far this year in Vegas, and it's actually to me hotter here when it gets hot than it does in Vegas.
I've been to Vegas in July, and like it truly is a different heat. Like the heat from the sun's like radiating on you, but you're not like covered in sweat, just miserable. So I've always joked like if you live in Oklahoma, if you want to know what it's like, just take a shower, get right out, put your clothes on. That's exactly what it's like in July in Oklahoma. But no,
I've always said just put clothes on, then get in the shower.
Yeah, there you go. Now we try and go to shows. I try and go to a few big shows a year. Like we went out to Battle in Bama this year. They have Slamboree right down the road from me. Gathering at the Rock was just literally down the road from me. But now I try and hit up a few different bigger ones each year, but as much of the local ones as I can. But now I started and I was trying to think. I was 13 or 14 years old. Me and Dad started going to shows when I was real young, so that's kind of just one thing I've always kept doing.
That's cool, man. To see that you're out there with your dad like that. There's just that's something that you don't get that often. I actually found when my dad passed, I was going through some pictures, found a picture of him with his old 75 Corvette at a car show about the same time I was going to shows. I'm like, I never knew he took that thing to car shows. Standing there with a microfiber in his hand. I'm like, yep, that's at a car show.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, man, I do try and spend a lot of time with my mom and dad. Like usually on Sundays, we find some time to hang out, to do something. They live a little bit away from me, but they make the drive up here anymore. They know I'm on the road a lot, so they come to see me. So I ain't got to be driving everywhere on a Sunday. But man, I don't know. I just try and enjoy time with them while they're here because I know there'll be a day that they're gone. Man.
I noticed one of the things that you post a lot. You do a lot of barbecue stuff. Is there something like some kind of inside joke with all that?
No, some people may want to argue with me, but I will tell you, like Oklahoma, mainly Tulsa, is the barbecue capital of the world. There was one time here in Tulsa where there was 5 different restaurants that was open that could beat anything in Texas or anything they had going. And I can say that because I've ate at a lot of places in Texas. This ain't just people running their mouth. I ain't getting paid. I ain't got no sponsorships, but the boys in Tulsa know what's going on better than anywhere else I've ever been.
I just know you're always posting something about barbecue or somebody's tagging you in something about barbecue. So I didn't know if there was some kind of, inside joke with that or something.
Nah,
if you just become a barbecue guru,
man, just this one thing like I get to do with all the running around I get to do. I find all the good restaurants, man. And it started about 5 or 6 years ago with some of the guys from work. We just like Fridays, we'd go find one of the barbecue places there in Tulsa and we go try them out. And like, we got to realizing with all the traveling we was doing, like, man, there's not much that can hold a candle to what's going on in here. So
I know we got this Southern barbecue over here, but then they say Texas, but I hadn't heard that Tulsa is the king of it.
Man, I've tried several of the name places in Texas, and it's way overrated. And there's a few good places down there, but man, there's 2 or 3 joints here in town that puts them all to shame, dude.
Now you go to a lot of shows and stuff with Jake and them from Fat Fabs. I guess you're close enough to them that you get to see them on a regular basis.
Yeah, I mean, literally, like I can jump on I-44 and be at his shop in maybe an hour. Me and Jake's run around for years, though, man. Like I was thinking about it the other day. It was like Midwest Drag Fest back in like I don't even know what year that would have been. Probably 04, 05. Like first time me and him started hanging out. It was kind of crazy. They had his dad's funeral the other day, and there was some pictures laying around and stuff. And I got to looking, and I was like, "Hey, is that Hanging Dice Nationals in Fort Smith, Arkansas?" He's like, "Yeah." It's like, dude, I'd have been there. He's like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah." Like, so we was in the same place like 30 years ago, and we didn't know each other. So I can't even imagine if me and him would have got being friends back then, what kind of trouble we would have got into.
So now y'all just compete with the beards. Is that where we're going with?
He tried to be like me one day, and I'm trying to be like him now. So
didn't he shave his a couple years ago? Lost a bet or something?
He shaved. Yeah. What was it? They did a coin flip bet or something, and it was bad. He never needs to do that again.
I remember like he showed up at SEMA with no beard. I'm like, who is this dude?
Yeah, and no chin.
I've been trying to get him on, but it seems like this time of year, there's no way to, get him to slow down. They stay so busy with the SEMA stuff.
He's kind of gotten better at that, man. He stays on top of things. They're usually ready to go in plenty of time. They're not usually last minute crunching anymore. Like he learned his lesson a long time ago. But I will tell you, like it's a tradition with him. Like he gets to Vegas and he just crashes out one night. No one sees him. So he sleeps probably for 24 hours or something like that. Then he comes around. So
I didn't think I was going to have a SEMA crunch this year. And they're like, it's like, oh, we'll drive it by the end of September. It's like, oh, it'll be the middle of October. Now I think the maiden voyage will be from the shop to the convention center. So yeah. It is what it is.
SEMA's its own beast, I guess you could say, man. Like I hadn't been since 2019, but like I'll be honest with you, that I'm not a fan of Vegas anymore. Last time I came home from there, last time I came home, I felt like I needed to take a bath with a red Scotch-Brite pad, man. Like that, just whole town is kind of, I don't know, it's gotten dirty, man, like dirtier. So
it depends on what establishments you're hanging out. If you go on those ones that only operate after like 2 a.m. and have poles, that might be a Scotch-Brite requirement.
Yeah, it probably is, man. And just staying down on Fremont, like we've always, Red Oaks has always got Red Oaks has always got us hooked up with hotel rooms down there on at the D and stuff. And man, you save hundreds of dollars staying down there, but like that's where everybody's at. And when everybody's around, like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, before anybody's like ready to go to bed or whatever. So
there was a
Being
bunch
down
of us.
there for Halloween too is a thing, man. Like that's
Oh, I was there, 2 years ago on Halloween on Fremont. I've never again. It's so packed, so congested. I'm like, no, I'm out. I've never had issues with people. After something like that, I'm like, no, I got to get out of here. Too many weirdos. And
man. I think it's 2018 last time I was out there for Halloween, and it was literally shoulder to shoulder on Fremont. Like you just in this day and age, no.
This year it's on Friday, so it'll be right before everybody gets there. I'll be there because I head out, which this will actually come out after SEMA, but I'm heading out the Sunday before SEMA, so I'll be there a week out. I don't want to go nowhere near anything on Halloween. I'm good. Now, you talk about staying at the D. There's a bunch of us went one year, and we was getting ready to leave or whatever, and one of the guys with me like takes a ballpoint pen under the bed and pulls out a set of panties, looks over at my girlfriend and I, my wife, and he goes, "Are these yours?" And she was like, "I've not even been on that side of the room." He was like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave these here. I
Yeah,
guess the
no.
date had missed it.
Man, refund now.
That was the last time we stayed at the D. So
Yeah, no, man, I hadn't read anything like that. And hope I never do. That's horrible, dude.
yeah, we actually booked at the Westgate this year. Hadn't ever stayed. We always stay at Sahara and walk because it's close enough. But yeah, it's like we'll try Westgate and see if it's any good.
Man, I talk to people who's never been out there before. I tell them to wear their walking shoes. I remember seeing like on my phone we're like 20, 22 miles in a day, like walking. It's until you've been, you don't know, man.
And by like Tuesday, maybe, I'm like, as soon as the show's over, I'm like, I'm going to the hotel. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not walking anywhere. My feet hurt. My back hurts. It's like, no. So you just trying to avoid going to SEMA now because the last experience?
Yeah, but like I said, it's just, I don't know. I've been there. I've done it. I got to looking at like all my SEMA badges and stuff one time. I've got like a hanging wall deal of like all my media badges, my SEMA badges. I've got all my like sweet passes for the football games and the baseball games, just stuff that you want to hang on to. And I had 18 SEMA passes.
Damn, really?
Yeah. And I was like, I didn't realize I'd been that many times, but looking back over the years, I had been. So
wow, I've not even been that many times.
So I mean, going for myself, I had to go to work for a few times. We'd have some of our meetings and do things out there. So like going for fun and going for work is two different things. When you got some of your best friends like hollering at you, like, nope, I got to go over here, guys. It's totally different, man. So
what? You said you've got those other vehicles that you're playing with. What's next in the work process to get something done?
Well, next thing on my agenda is a different house with a bigger garage. My garage is full right now. I've passed it. I want a street rod next. I'm 6'2", 6'3", 250 pounds. So I don't know what that's going to be or what that's even going to look like.
So you don't want a body drop standard cab Tacoma is what you're saying?
No, but I got that body drop extended cab Mazda, my 5-window Mazda I got. Everybody jokes with me getting in and out of that thing. It looks like Sasquatch trying to get out of there or something, man. But plenty of room. That is one thing about that truck. That's one reason I did get it, man. But now, like if I can get, next thing's going to be at least 3-car garage. There's some houses they're building north of Tulsa that you can have a detached garage that matches your house. Yeah. So I'm kind of looking at some of that stuff. So I need more garage space, man. And something I can put a lift in. I got to have a lift. I farm out so much stuff to be done to my trucks because I just ain't got room for them. People I trust to work on them and do things. But yeah, if I had a lift, like I could tackle probably 70-80% of the stuff I ever need done.
Well, I know when I had Grant Cox on, he was talking about that area that you guys live in is just full of hot rods. Like this area, there's not so many the street rod stuff here. But I think your area, there's probably more per capita than probably anywhere else in the country at this point.
It seems like it, and everybody acts like the whole street rod scene's kind of dead or dying off. Man, when you go look at the prices of some of these 32s and stuff, man, like, I don't know what they're talking about. Dude, it ain't nothing to see something $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 for. Man, let's just be honest, it's kind of, they're nice builds, but they're not real. There's not a lot of fabrication or anything that goes into them.
Yeah.
They're super cool.
Bodies and...
Yeah. I've even seen some fiberglass stuff that they're wanting $40,000 and $50,000 for. I'm not saying they're not worth it because I feel like the market's kind of yielding that. But yeah, no, I said growing up around Salisal, there's a bunch of old street riders there. When I moved up here, I said that Gathering at the Rock show has become, man, I hear some of the old guys like saying it's Gathering at the Rock or dadgummit, what's the big show they're having out in Louisville or everything? Triple Crown. Like they're saying Gathering at the Rock. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nashville, wherever it's at. Gathering Out the Rock or Triple Crown's the top two shows in the nation.
Well,
And that's
no,
like,
I went last year to Triple Crown, and the fact that you can walk down the main pit row and there's, I don't know, half a dozen $1 million+ vehicles sitting there,
yeah,
like ridiculous. You know, the Kendiggett Riddler just sitting there on the end,
yeah,
no rope around it, no
not boxed
nothing.
off or anything. Yeah, I saw that at Fort Worth at Good Guys. Like they had all their stuff up underneath the tent, and there's the Riddler kind of just sitting out there by itself.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might. I'm gonna try to hit some of the big stuff like the Triple Crown and stuff. It's just hard for me to, you say drive anywhere 8 hours. Sometimes it's hard to get that far because like there's a day there, a day back. You're there for 2 days, but I guess if you're on the road for work all the time, you're kind of used
Yeah,
to it.
if I got a comfortable ride, I'm good. Like I said, I love my trucks, but anything more than an hour, like, that 64 is kind of people don't even think about how like the older the trucks get, the smaller the cabs are, and people
Yeah.
don't think about that. They think it's a full size truck. You got all the room in the world. Now, like there's probably more room in my Mazda than there is in that 64 that I got. Man.
Get into like a 39 Ford pickup truck though, like you could probably barely fit in one.
Oh, I guarantee you, man. Like, dude, people say like I wear that 64 when I'm in it. Yeah. So, but that's what I'm getting at. Like, I want a 32. I don't think it's happening. There was a 40 Ford that was pretty slick that was for sale around here. I just didn't have nowhere to put it, but I could probably drive it. I think I could probably fit in that. So,
Well, if Big Bill can drive a smart car, I think you're
yeah.
fine.
Truth. I always heard that story. They drove all the way out to Vegas, man. I always remember that story.
I seen him running around. I guess it was the RA show out there when they had it.
Mm-hmm.
Him riding around. And I think his arms like hanging out the passenger window.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, all kinds of stories like that, man. But yeah, no, if he can do it, I can do it, right?
So do you ever miss the days of going out and shooting everything back in the, I guess as we said earlier before we come on, the magazine heyday?
Yeah, I do. I think anybody would. It was just fun. I think the coolest thing is getting to know all the people that we get to know doing it, man. It's just I've always said like when you're in the automotive world, it gets real small.
Yep.
And like doing what we do, like you got even smaller. I probably run into stuff where people think I'm lying all the time about some of the people I know or I've got to hang out with. I'm sure you run into it too. Like unless you've been around the automotive world, it's not that insane to know some of the big name builders or hang out with people that people see on TV or something. It's just kind of part of it.
Oh, it's like Ryan when he was doing my paint stuff. He'd be sanding on something, and they'd walk over, hand him a shirt to sign, and I'd be like, "Is this all day?" I'm like, "I didn't know I was here with a celebrity."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like he was out at Starbirds this year, and he saw my Mazda, and he just stopped and talked, and we knew the same people. Like I said, okay, I get it.
So what when people want to follow the little bit that you do with your phone now, since you're not taking pictures, tell people where they can find you at.
Man, if they want to friend me on Facebook, if they got enough people in common with me, I'll add them. That's the trick I learned from Jake, man. You can't be having some like 2 or 3s or something, you know what I mean? So, but no, they can send me a friend's request on there or man, I still got, I think it's Fleetwood DeVille on Instagram. So
you don't even know if you have Instagram?
I do, but I don't keep track. Hang on. I don't even keep track of what the name was on it, man. Like it's been that long ago that I did it. Hang on, let me look.
Now, where did the Fleetwood DeVille come from?
So my buddy Jimmy Cox started calling me that back when I lived back home. He's built several like OBS trucks back in the day before, they were OBS trucks. It's Fleetwood DeVille on Instagram. So, but he started calling me, hey, Fleetwood DeVille, like you said, like nobody hardly calls me Josh. That's last year we was running around and Gathering at the Rock. They have a big cruise and this dude was hollering, hey Josh. My buddy Nate was like, that dude don't know you. So who the heck's Josh, man? So I've had several girlfriends over the years call me Josh and Jake and my buddy Nate or Brandon be like, hey, who's Josh? Like, who you talking about? So it's just it's my last name, and like being a car guy, somebody told me, man, you couldn't have been born with a better last name, I guess. So
yep, for sure. I mean, at least you didn't have like a Josh Chevette or something.
That'd have been a bad deal. Yep, been a bad deal. So. Yeah.
Now you mentioned though the people you meet and run into. It's just like we would all see each other's names in the magazines and stuff, and then when we do run into each other, it's like, oh, that's who you are, and it's like immediately like there's no competition. Even if there's 5 people at one show that would shoot for the same magazine, there was never any real competition. It's like, all right, what are you shooting? I'm shooting this. You know that guy? Do you want to do that one? Like it was a a camaraderie with everybody. You know, somebody to even help people if they needed it.
Yeah, man, I think there was, there's enough nice rigs being built back in the day, and I mean there still are today. But like there was enough for everybody. You know what I mean? And everybody had their own relationships with everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you met so and so at this show, or I met so and so at this show, and they started this build, and they got the truck done, and I met a bunch of shows there, so they wouldn't want me to shoot, or vice versa. They get to know you, and they'd want you to shoot it, and
Yeah.
it just I don't know. It's different times, man. Like I say that all the time, it's, especially today. So
Yeah, the way that the social media stuff is completely taken over that world. I
yeah,
doubt anybody my daughter's age even knows what a custom vehicle magazine is.
no, man, I'm getting to be old, and a lot of the young guys I work around with and stuff, they don't even know the joy of like going to Walmart to see if the new issue was out or any of that stuff, or it's like seeing your buddy in the magazine, or hey, I knew that
Yep.
trucker, hey, that is my truck in there, so there was a sense of pride in all that stuff back then. Man.
But I guess the technology's taken over, and it's just the way of the world. I mean, you see all these posts like, grew up in the, born in the 70s, raised in the 80s, whatever. And it's like before, I would have had fun, but no proof or whatever.
Oh, me and Jake talk about that all the time, man. Just think about how wild some of the shows used to be, and they're not anymore. But that's why. I mean, instantly you can be in trouble because of all that.
Yep. All the hazing and the what you call it, the initiation stuff for clubs, and
Yep.
saran wrapping people to telephone poles. And you don't
Man,
see people having fun like that anymore.
I hear some of them are still doing it, but I don't know. I haven't been at those shows, I guess, to see it or not. I remember some of the stuff like you used to see like at Greenville and stuff back in the day, people swimming in the, in the ponds and stuff out there that probably wasn't even ponds.
Don't even want to ask questions on any of that stuff.
Don't want to know. Yeah.
We was at some show in New York, and somebody's like, "You dare me to jump in the river?" Is up there by the Hudson after the show, and he jumped in, and I'm like, "All right, you just caught about 3 diseases right there."
Have some needles sticking in your arm or something.
Yep. Well,
I can say, nah, dude. I don't know. That those were good times back in the day. Everybody going to shows, hanging out, staying up to who knows when, hanging out the hotels. It was good times back then, man.
You got any shows my end of the country you're planning on for next year?
No.
I think that 8 hours close enough for you.
Right, yeah. No, I don't know, man. Like there's a lot of last minute stuff that kind of pops up that somebody says you want to go, and we go. I mean, going to Battle in Bama was I hate to say last minute deal, but like 3 or 4 weeks out when we started kind of talking about trying to figure out how we're going to get everything out there and go. Me and one of my buddies talking about jumping on a plane and going to Dino's in a few weeks. Kind of, he's had some stuff go on, and we're gonna kind of see how he feels. And if he feels all right, we're probably just gonna jump on there and go and see what happens, man. So we went out there last year and was just blown away at everything at that show. So
I'm going out for SEMA a week early, and then staying for SEMA, and then staying another week to go to Dino's. I think we're going out that Wednesday because AMD does their Dixon pre-party, and then Trey 5 has his and all that. So
I ain't got no way to get it out there, and I'm not gonna throw any vendors' names out there, but I got an invite to have the F100 in 2 booths out there. So
nice.
Yeah, I got thick enough skin I could handle it, I think. But it's just, I don't know. Another thing, like I always joke, like 18-year-old would you ever think of where you're at? And that's one of those things. Like I never thought I would have a nice enough vehicle to like ever win Best of Show, or like be in a booth. Like here's 2 open invitations to have an F100 at an all Chevy show. Like I don't know, the stuff that happens, man. It's cool.
Oh, you'd get Raz for sure.
I got big
even Fat Fender brings brings their Chevy stuff. So
yeah,
they do mostly Fords.
I kind of joke. Some people want to argue about it, but man, the baddest truck at Dino's last year was Scott's F100.
Yep, 100%.
And Jake had the Lightning out there like 2 or 3 years ago. So
yeah, well, this actually drops. Looks like this will drop the Tuesday before Dino's. So
there you go.
Some of you guys may be en route on the way to Dino's checking this out. So they'll have to see if they can see the beard out there. But I don't know, that kind of the gray big long beard blends in with everybody on the West Coast, I think.
Oh, it does, man. I used to joke about that. There was one year at LST, like people thought it was me. And heck, I had an ex-girlfriend at the time, man. Like everybody had that dyed red hair, dude. Everybody was like, oh no, that's not her. So
well, I know we've been bouncing back and forth trying to, link up, whatever. It's cool to kind of catch up, kind of get some of your story of where you got into doing the photography for the us OGs that remember you doing it.
Yeah,
Since you've
it's
been
getting
out
to
of the
be where
game.
people don't remember me, man. That's fine though. I have fun with it.
Do some research. It's like I had somebody one time. I said something about shooting black vehicles. It's like, oh yeah, Brian McCormick's the king of
Yeah,
that. And they're like,
yeah.
who's
Who?
Brian McCormick? And I'm like, damn,
Man,
I feel old.
that's horrible, man. There's some things you should never forget, and some of those guys are it, man. So
Like there are people shooting for magazines that he ran and don't even know who that is. And I'm like, okay, well, do some research before you say anything.
man, anything you're into, man, if you got enough passion about it, like I feel like you'd have do your research and kind of I don't know, see who was there before you, man. You know.
Yep. Cool. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man, and we'll catch up with you. Maybe we'll see you at Dino's.
Yeah, if everything works out right, we should be out there. So
All right, man. Appreciate it.
thanks for doing it.